Well, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good. Everything Mr. Estrada said is right, so I'm gone. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm actually very, very excited to be here. My journey has been quite interesting as they shared with you, 20 years at Dell, and then I started, I kind of stumbled into the startup community as a mentor and as an advisor. But what I found ultimately was that my passion was about empowering and enabling entrepreneurs to be as successful as they can building their businesses. And that really just drew me into the startup scene and also quite a bit of advising and mentoring for small business owners as well. And actually, that's where I actually got my start. So I wanted to share with you some experiences that I've actually had in working with accelerators and incubators and also with small businesses and really try to inject some knowledge and a little bit of wisdom with all of you in terms of the applying accelerator insights to accelerating your growth. Okay? So first and foremost, startups, small businesses, there are similarities and there are differences, right? At the end of the day, we've got job creation, right? Everybody's taking risks to build these businesses. You have products and services, contribution to the local and U.S. economy. We're all doing that, right? And it's all hard work. So I'm not going to get into what's better, what's not better. I think, at the end of the day, 99% of our entrepreneurship is small business. And ultimately, the startup and the small business world, we're the heartbeat of this nation, right? We know that, and the question is, how do we can do it better, how we can do it faster, right, to basically generate more prosperity in the U.S., in our country. Okay, I got a quick trigger here. All right, so you guys have probably heard this. I mean, you've been here all week, right? The average revenue is $3.6 million for small businesses, right? And I thought, wow, that's a pretty high number, right? But as you look down, 22.5 million of those are non-employer based, right? And the average revenue associated is about 44,000. Okay, and I thought to myself, okay, wow, there's some tremendous opportunity here. Right? What's not happening? And I've seen this, on the startup side as well as on the small business side is, how do we generate more growth? What's going on? What's holding back some of the opportunities to build more scalable businesses? And I'm not saying every small business has to go and grow to a 1,000-person company. No, not at all, right? But we do want them to help them grow, right, where they have the potential. Because everybody in here has potential to build something pretty big, right? And when we say big, it could be 5 people, it could be 3 people, it could be 10, it could be 20. But we want to provide that opportunity. 80% of the non-employer based of businesses are actually generating less than 50K. Okay, we're looking at these dynamics, right? And also, when you look at this too, I would venture to say, based on the statistics that Jim actually shared with you, half of these are probably associated with women's owned businesses, right, and ethnically diverse owned businesses. Probably about half of that number, right? So tremendous opportunity makes a great case for inclusive entrepreneurship, right? So if we can tap in to a broader base, right, of our demographic of the U.S. and sort of uplift them to build scalable businesses, imagine, okay? So here's what I'm talking about. Imagine 2% of that 22.5 million owned businesses hires 3 people. 1.4 million jobs will be created, just 2%, right? Now, I think the average revenue, let's just say, is we go to 250,000, right? If 2% of that 22.5 million drive 250,000. So they grow from 50,000 to 250,000, right? We're talking about $112 billion pumped into the US economy. 2% of this group right here, somebody, right? We can get there, right? And I, of course, I had to get a little bit greedy with the startup mentality. I said, how about 5%? Let's do 5%, right? So I just had to do some calculations on my own. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Just 5%, we can generate $281 billion and 3.5 million jobs, right? The unemployment rate, the number of unemployed, I think is somewhere like 7 million, 7.5 million. We would cut it in half, right? That's amazing. So I'm just like pumped up. So I'm getting carried away. All right, I'm calm down. I'm gonna come back down. Okay. So let's grow and scale. Let's talk about how we do that. It's really hard to generate growth without any help. Okay. And I know all of us are smart, right? We like to do things, but I can tell you, as an entrepreneur, it's really easy to get down into the weeds and be by yourself and just try to crank it out, and you're working, but you ain't talking to nobody, right? And you're just racking your brain, right? Starting to lose hair and go gray and, wear hats all the time, so you can. So we need help, right? We need experience and seasoned, right? Those folks who've been there, done that, advisors, mentors. But we also need the young and the bold, right? So I'm living in this world right now where I get to hang out with some of the experienced and the seasoned folks. And I'm also at UT with the young and the bold, right? It's fun. It keeps me on my toes, right? And I'm learning something every day. And then also, here's a big challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs. Ask for help, right? Ask for help. Almost demand help. There are people who want to help you, right? And I'm guilty of this too, right? I'm way down, I'm looking at, and I go meet with somebody who has experience, and I'm almost like embarrassed to ask, to say, hey, this is not working. Can you give me some guidance on how to do this? That's what they're there for, right? Took me a long time to figure that out, but ultimately what I'm sharing with you is if somebody like me is sitting down with you, we want to help you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's a connection, maybe it's an introduction, right? Maybe it's some sort of partnership agreement, but we want to help you in any way that we can. So always come to the table, say, okay, here's what I'm really struggling with, right? Here's where I can use some help, right? Whether it's an individual, whether it's an organization, or whatever it is, ask for help, right? Don't be shy, right? Because we do want to help. And you'll be amazed, one connection can change and really change things for you and give you the momentum that you need to go to the next level. Okay, so the team. This is some of the stuff we talk about in the accelerator programs that we do. And one of the key elements is the team. So you guys know the Wizard of Oz, right? Lions, tigers, and bears. Well, we got advisors, mentors, and coaches. Oh my, right? Advisors, mentors, and coaches. Oh my. That is part of the team. Oftentimes, we ask entrepreneurs about their team, and they say, well, I have a developer, and I have, an admin. That's not what I'm talking about, not exclusively. I want to know who's behind you, right? Who's coaching you? Who's guiding you, right? Who's helping you define the path, right? Who's saying, yes, Preston is got it going on and he's going in the right direction. You know why that's important? Because they add credibility to what you're doing. Now, of course, you're saying, wait a minute. I got a degree. I don't need anybody giving me credibility. We all do. We all do. Okay, you can think of the baddest CEOs in the market today, the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Jeff Bezos and Tim Cooks of the world. They all had help. They all had mentors, they all had coaches. They still have them to this day, right? Because that's how you actually build part of your network. So surround yourself with good people. If you don't have any partners, co-founders, that's okay, but you still need to surround yourself with good people. So I want you to think, take an action today. If you don't have a partner, if you don't have an advisor, you don't have a mentor, one thing I want you to do is go find one. Somebody who's in the business, been there and done that. Go find one, right? Build a relationship with them and get it going. Okay. So how are we doing? Okay, so the other thing is, in terms of your business, the what, the why, the how. Let's get into the weeds, right? About what are you really trying to do here, right? What, in the startup world, it's, what is the problem you're trying to solve, right? In the small business world, yeah, you can ask yourself that question too, but sometimes it's a gap, sometimes it's a challenge, sometimes it's an opportunity that you're really trying to address, and you're trying to, do something a little bit different. But whatever it is, be really clear about what it is that you're trying to do. Why? Because for entrepreneurs, right? For entrepreneurs, it's tough. From day to day, you're going down this path. The next day, you're over here, right? And then the third, you'll be down here. It's just guardrail to guardrail if you don't have that focus about what you're trying to do. So we really kind of get in really deep in terms of what is it, why, right, and how we're trying to do what we do. And always get a written plan of execution, right? I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, yep, everything's right here. Goodness gracious. You know what I mean? I know from the time I'm running all day long to the time I lay down and wake up, what I had in here, half of it is gone. And as I get older, more of it goes. You know what I mean? So get it written down, right? Because ultimately, you're going to need to be able to sell it to somebody and say, hey, I want you to come join us, right? I can't join you if I don't understand the plan. What's the plan? Where are we going? Why are we going? How are we going to do this? Okay? All right, so we talk about and then our biggest, like I was saying, the biggest challenge is around focus, right? There's so much noise, right? Things are always constantly going on, right? So what we do for our entrepreneurs is we get them to focus on a critical few things that are going to move the business forward. What do we need to do? We need to go get some customers. How many do we want to get? I want to get 50 customers by the end of next week. Go do that. How are we going to do it? Social media, marketing, whatever, go, right? Go. Don't tell me about this, that, and the other. Just go get these customers and let's knock that out. Okay? We need to go ahead and get our website up, right? And optimize that. Good. What do you need? Well, I need to go find X, Y, and Z. Good. Go do that. Right? It's building blocks and stay focused. Now I have to go make this talk and this meeting and blah, blah. Come on back. Get focused. Get aligned. Right? Focus is really key, and that's where your advisors, coaches, mentors, those smart people around you, that's where they will help you. Bring you back in line. Okay? Bring you back in line. Okay? Quickly figure out what's not working. Test it, not working, go. Move on to the next one. You hire somebody, you give them 2 or 3 months, it's not working. Let's go. Okay, I know it's hard. It's hard. I'm not sitting here telling you it's easy. This is hard stuff, right? But that's why you have to be surrounded with other people who can help you. I know where I'm weak. I have a soft heart, right? Let's give them a chance. Let's try this and try to. 6 months go by, and you still don't have any customers, they're not the right business development person. Got to go. Got to go. Okay? Metrics, got to put them in there. Know what they are, beginning of the week, for the year, the month, whatever, get them in there, write them down, measure it. Some stuff's not working, tweak. Tweak, tweak, tweak. All right? Those metrics are important. I've asked many an entrepreneur, so how do you measure success? We got this and whatever. Boom, boom, boom. This is how we measure success, right? It'll evolve, but give me some core 3 or 4 or 5 things that you're going to measure to let you know that your business is doing well. If not, you're just kind of like just blown in the wind, right? Just blown in the wind. You remember those 28 million small businesses out there? That's a lot of competition, right? You don't have time to be blowing in the wind. You got to be focused. We got to be getting out there, building the right. So get rid of the noise. Okay, so this is kind of one of my favorite slides in here, technology. And I think if you guys have been attending the conference, technology kind of comes up as a pretty big issue, right? 53% of small businesses have websites, but they're not optimized at all. Right? That's half of the business, half of 28 million, right? Probably a good high percentage of the 22.5 million, right? Mobile commerce, only 5% have mobile commerce. Now, of course, it depends on your business, right? But I think I read 4.8 billion people have mobile smartphones. Now, you know how we use these smartphones, right? We're in the car, we're walking, people walking across the street like this, right? And then in that same article, it said 4.2 billion own toothbrushes. 4.8 have smartphones, 4.2 have, yikes, right? Social media, 72% of adults use social networks. So they're there, right? So we do have to leverage technology to enhance and grow and reach your customer base. Make no mistake about it. It is a total necessity for small businesses. Going forward, you will not be able to get away with not having social media, website, optimized website, or mobile commerce. Right? You need to have these. Yes, they do cost money, but if you got some teenagers going off to college, right, and we'll talk about that. Now, the other thing that I want to say also is this is about customer service as well, right? You've got to be able to drive a great customer experience. Unlike United Airlines and American Airlines, where they'll kick you off the plane and drag you off the plane, that's not what we're trying to do. Okay? We're trying to deliver a customer experience to bring those customers back, acquire customers. So here's something I want you all to, and if you do say this, please stop. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. Stop saying that you're not a tech company. Now, I'm not saying that you are a tech company. Here's what I'm saying. When you say I am not a tech company, my perspective is a lot of people, when they say that, it gets them not to use technology. I'm not a tech company, so I'm not going to use technology. It enforces that mindset that I'm not going to use technology. Stop saying that and be open to leveraging technology in your environment, okay? So, critical understanding your market. We talked a lot. Jim talked about this as well. This is, we get down into the nitty-gritty in terms of understanding your customers, okay? The product market fit. Where does your service, who's your service for, the product for, et cetera, and getting way down into the weeds, where they are, who they are, how do you get to them, right? Are you talking to them? If you don't talk to your customers, you're not serving your customers. You don't know who your customers are, right? You have to go talk to them. Go talk to 50, 100, go where they are, right? You want to grow your business? Look at those new demographics, right? Look at the demographics that are changing, right? The generations, the millennials, the Gen X, Y, Z, green, whatever they are, right? Right? Us old folks in the baby boomer plus, right? We're not going anywhere. We'll be here for a while. So don't forget us, right? So get into that. So I know my time is running short, but this is really kind of making sure you really understand who your customer is and making sure you can get to them and retain them, acquire them and retain them, okay? Now, last piece, it's also about you too, right? Emotionally, spiritually, right? Intellectually, you gotta be here. If you're not taking care of yourself, you ain't got no business to run, right? Your employees need you. Your family needs you. You need to bring your passion. So let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna skip over this. My time is up, correct? Yes, it is. So tapping into the resources, this is my last one. There are a ton of resources. Whether you're in Austin or whatever state that you're from, you've got, for example, the Texas State Small Business Development Center with Donna Taylor and Michael Breck over there, the City of Austin with Joy Miller, Texas Business Incubators and Accelerator. There is a PDF file online with all the incubators and accelerators in Texas, for those of you who are in Texas. Minority Business Development, Chambers of Commerce. For women, EBW 2020, Walker's Legacy, gotta check them out. Circular Board is another one, gotta check them out. And then university college students, they all have entrepreneurship programs. I can't tell you how many students are saying, hey, I wanna get involved, I wanna help. They're there, they're smart, and guess what? They have all the access to research information that you need that would normally cost you $2,000, they get it for free on campus. So if you need to do some research on what demographics are doing what, they can do that for you. And there's countless others. Okay? So, secret. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret sauce, right? I'm gonna tell you, everything that I mentioned that's in this slide, it takes hard effort and work, right? It's all about you. I will say a key thing is your network, and it is your team. That's gonna help you grow. You can't do this by yourself. So be part of that 2%. So next year when I come back here, some of y'all are already grown to that number, and we'll be looking at a different number, okay? So dig in and grow, all right? Thank you very much.